Hi, dear students, dear friends, welcome to Gallant IAS. Now, just 91 days left for your prelims examination 2021. Whether you are preparing for prelims 2021 or 2022, the most important thing is, along with the preparation, you should have revision, you should have practice of UPC standard questions. Okay. Now, when it comes to mains, definitely you must have a regular answer writing program where you should get regular feedback in essay or GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and your optional also. So prelims, you know the success mantra. That is very simple. Once you finish the syllabus, the next important thing is you must revise. Before the examination, before the final examination, at least 3 to 4 times you should revise every subject. You have history, economy, geography, polity, environmental science, current affairs and all. Have a thorough revision, do multiple revisions and practice of questions. You must take full test, UPC standard full test, and you must practice a good number of questions, UPC standard questions, and the final 20 days or maybe the last 1 month of your examination, before your examination, definitely you must practice at least last 10 years previous years questions also. Okay, now here in this series we are solving the same. So if you are watching first time, please do subscribe our channel, and whatever your valuable feedback, your request, you can leave in the comment box and we will respond to them. Okay, so here I have taken, this is mastering series, mastering history series, taken questions from history, lots of questions which we discussed directly or indirectly being asked in the UPSC examination. So history, because the reason is so simple, because history is a static subject. If you learn the core concepts, core areas, definitely you can expect questions. This is a question from this ancient India, which is Buddhism, Jainism. I used to say it's a blockbuster module. Every year they are asking questions either in prelims or mains examination. Okay, so this is Buddhism, Jainism. There is a question. Just look into this. Objected to Mahavira. It's a statements about Mahavira. So you must know the doctrines, the teachings, the philosophies of Vardhamana Mahavira and Gautam Buddha. Mahavira objected to Vedic rituals and Brahmin supremacy. Yeah, there are some commonalities. There are some commonalities between this Vardhamana Mahavira and Gautam Buddha. Okay, Vardhamana Mahavira, Gautam Buddha, some commonalities are there. Yeah, both rejected the authority of Vedas. Both rejected the authority of the Vedas. Both rejected the authority of the Vedas. Okay, both rejected the importance of, rejected the importance of rituals or rites or sacrifices, etc. Both promoted the idea of non-violence. So many similarities are there which we have already done in other videos which you see. The first statement is correct. They objected to Vedic rituals and Brahmin supremacy. Advocated God has created world and exercised control over it. Actually, this is a wrong statement because Vardhamana Mahavira has no faith in this creator God. No faith in creator God. No faith in creator God. Yes, even Gautam Buddha has no faith in creator God. Here, Vardhamana Mahavira, Gautam Buddha, they believed, historic Buddha, Mahavira believed this world is created and sustained by a universal law or a cosmic law. There is no creator God. There is no creator God. So the second statement is also a wrong statement. Advocated severe asceticism and extreme penance for attainment of highest spiritual state. That is the difference between Gautam Buddha and Mahavira. Here, Mahavira proposed extreme austere life. Extreme austere life for salvation. One has to suffer like anything, sacrifice like anything. He has to sacrifice everything. Even discard own cloth. Even a piece of cloth is a matter of desire, which is leading to sorrow. So if you want to conquer the sorrows and happiness of the world, yes, you must get out of this material bondage or material possessions. Okay, leave everything and go through this extreme ascetic life. Extreme ascetic life. Go through penance, meditation, and all the sacrifices you have to undertake in order to achieve salvation. So, extreme austere life proposed to a Vardhamana Mahavira. Gautama Buddha proposed to middle path. No extreme austere life, no extreme luxuries. You follow the middle path. That is Gautama Buddha. So, third statement is correct. Third statement is correct. The first statement objected to Vedic rituals and Brahmin supremacy. Vardhamana Mahavira objected to Vedic rituals and Brahmin supremacy is correct. Advocated severe asceticism and extreme penance for attainment of highest spiritual state is also correct. So first and third statements are correct regarding Vardhamana Mahavira. Second is wrong. Your answer has to be 1 and 3 only. Okay, 1 and 3 only has to be your answer. So 1 and 3 means it is Bombay. 1 and 3 is your answer. Second statement is wrong statement. Moving on to next question. Yeah, just to show on you the basic teachings of Vardhamana Mahavira. Just go for it. World is animated. All these things in this world has a soul, and soul is immortal. Don't hurt anything in this world. Yeah, non-injury to living beings. Birth, death is due to karma. So improve your karma, or karma is a karma bondage. It's basically a bondage. By practicing this penance and extreme austere ascetic life, you can get out of this karmic bondage. You can liberate from the cycle of this birth and death. Rejected authority of the Vedas. Then there is no debate over God. Even though God exists, it is lower than Jina. Tirthankaras are more important. And rejected the idea of creator God. It has faith in this transmigration of soul. In Jainism, according to teachings of Vardhamana Mahavira, faith in transmigration of soul, believes in universal law. World is created and sustained by a universal cosmic law. Then opposed to rituals and Brahmin hold. These are some central things of Jainism, central teachings and central ideas of Jainism and Vardhamana Mahavira. There is a question, which one of the following correct regarding these Vedic people? Which is correct regarding these Vedic people? Agriculture became mainstay of this Rigvedic economy. It's wrong. See, RVC versus LVC. What is RVC? RVC means it is Rigvedic culture. This is later Vedic culture. In RVC, it was mostly a pastoral, it was pastoral nomadic tribes. Aryans were pastoral nomadic tribes. They were horse riding people. Cattle rearing, cattle breeding, that was the mainstay of economy. Cattle rearing, cattle breeding. Even they fought wars for the protection of cattle. Okay. They practiced agriculture. They were pastoral nomadic tribes moving from one place to another place. So, Rigvedic time, it was pastoral economy. It was pastoral economy. But agriculture was also practiced and other agriculture related activities were practiced, but most importantly it was a pastoral economy. Yeah, moving on to this later Vedic, agriculture become the mainstay. Okay, agriculture become mainstay, but here the mainstay of economy was pastoral. It was pastoral economy, cattle rearing, cattle breeding, but still they practiced agriculture. So agriculture became mainstay of Rigvedic economy is wrong. Agriculture became the mainstay of later Vedic economy. Aryans personified worship to natural forces is true. Yeah, they were afraid of these natural phenomena, natural forces, this thunder, rain, okay, fire. So they started worshipping them. So they personified a natural phenomenon, worship to them, that is true. The people were acquainted with the use of iron tools, which is wrong. They have no idea. They have no idea about this they have no idea about these people of these Rigvedic times. They have no idea about these iron tools because iron made appearance in the later Vedic times. Rigvedic times 1500 BC to 1000 BC. Later Vedic time is, that is 1000 BC to 500 BC. So this iron made appearance in this later Vedic time. So C statement is wrong. They worshipped only male deities like Indra, Varuna, Soma, which is again wrong. Okay, they worshipped only male deities like Indra, Varuna, Soma, wrong. Only male deities. It is not only male deities. They worshipped female deities also. Okay, they worshipped female deities also. They worshipped, so Usha is an example. So they worshipped female deities also. They say only male deities, which is wrong. So here first statement is wrong. Third statement is wrong. Fourth statement is wrong. The correct one is Bombay. Second statement, Aryans is personified and worshipped natural phenomenon. That is the correct statement. Okay. The Harappans were hardly conversant with these principles of health and sanitation. So all of you, my dear friends, you take care. Yeah, in the civil service examination, prelims examination, out of 100 questions, maybe 30-35 questions are directly from your syllabus, what you learned. Then rest of the questions where you have to apply your common sense, you have to apply your educated guess, okay? You have to apply the elimination tactics, okay? So here you can see that Harappans were hardly conversant with the principles of health and sanitation. Hardly, extremely, always, often, absolutely. Some keywords, extreme words are used in statements. Most cases, such statements gone wrong. But it is not real with all statements. Sometimes, some statements with these extreme words, sometimes they will be correct statements. But most cases, when these kind of the extreme words are used, the statement, most probably in order to make the statement wrong, UPSC purposefully put such kind of the extreme words. So here, Harappans, they've given utmost importance to health, hygiene, sanitation. So the first statement is wrong. They had a very, elaborated drainage system. House drains are connected with the street drains. So they had given importance to the doors and windows of houses never opened into these streets and roads, because they were conscious about air pollution, sound pollution, water pollution, etc., dust pollution, etc. So the first statement is wrong. Indus civilization's economy depended significantly on trade. That is true. I mean, it's an urban phase, significantly dependent on trade. Pre-Harappan culture adopted grid-iron pattern of town planning. Simple common sense. Pre-Harappan is, it is a rural culture, village culture. Post-Harappan is also village culture. Only mature Harappan is the urban culture. So, grid pattern of town planning, cities and town living, etc. That is main feature of this mature phase only. Pre-Harappan phase was a rural phase. Post-Harappan phase was also a rural phase. So third statement is wrong. Here the only correct statement is 2 only. 2 only is your answer. Moving on to next question, which is all about this art and literature of ancient India. Amaravati School of Art was patronized by Pallavas. There are post-Mauryan three schools of art. Gandhara, Madura, Amaravati schools of art. Amaravati school, which produced images of white marble. The chief material was white marble. Amaravati school of art, known for its narrative art, and produced these sculptures of Buddha was never in human form. Buddha was never in human forms. Buddha was sculpted in various symbols and signs. Okay. So anyway, you should go for Gandhara, Madura, Amaravati schools of art. Amaravati was patronized by Shadavahanas and later Ishwagus, not by Pallavas. Okay. So first statement is wrong. Mudra Rakshasa, a literary work during Gupta era, was done by Shubandhu. It's wrong. Mudra Rakshasa. So Gupta literature is important for you, my dears. Okay. Written by Vishakhadatta or Shudraga or Bhasha or Kalidasa. What are the very popular literary works? Sanskrit literary works done during the time of Guptas. Okay. Gupta age is regarded as a golden age of ancient India because it made advancement in the field of astronomy, astrology, astrophysics, or in science, in medicine, in literature, in religious literature, in art and craft. Every field it made contribution, so it is regarded as a golden age. Mudra Rakshasa is by Vishakhadatta. It is by Vishakhadatta. It's a literary work done during Gupta's time by Vishakhadatta. So here both the statements are wrong. So your answer has to be Delhi, which is neither 1 nor 2. So this is the way, my dear students, my request to all of you is, you focus on solving maximum number of questions. You prepare a daily timetable, set a daily timetable and focus on revision. While revising, take care. One thing you should not miss, that is solving questions. Try to solve maximum number of questions. That's it. All the best. Continue watching this series and your valuable feedback can be left in the comment box. We will respond to them. Thank you.